We're back, guys. The shitcoin.com show is back in action. As always, I'm here with Andreas. Hey, Andreas.
Hey,
And yeah, we thought we'd just kind of get back into the groove a little bit. We have some guests lined up in the coming weeks. So I think up next week we have Zane Tackett from FTX. So be sure to check out that one when it comes next week. But before then, we thought we'd just like kind of get caught up a little bit, get back in the feeling of recording again. And see what's going on. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. I think the biggest news right now is this whole NFT craze, which is blowing up. To be honest, I feel like it's just kind of like flew over me. I never realized it was happening. How do you feel about it?
the NFTs is weird because I don't own any NFTs. I've not looked into it. I didn't know it would get serious. I thought maybe for in-game items, like the game that Samson Mao is always shilling, the Infinite Fleet, stuff like that. And then it was of course rare Pepes, which for me was a very sad story because I've only lost the private keys to two wallets in my life.
Yeah.
The first one was a Litecoin wallet in 2012. Still don't know. The second one, I got drunk on the beach and had a seed phrase for my rare Pepe coin wallet on me. And it just
Oh
like
man.
got lost in the sand or something. I don't know. So
Oh,
all my rare Pepes, could have been hundreds of dollars. Now, I mean, hundreds of millions, I'm sure.
yeah.
All gone. Yeah.
I can
Do
see
you
how
have
that would
any?
leave a bit of a no. Well, I've acquired random little things. I think just from people giving them, sharing them, like kind of
Mm.
airdropping them and stuff like that. Um, I feel that might appreciate. I don't think I've quite honed in on what I think would be a good purchase. I feel like I'm just pissing away money
Right.
if I buy anything. I think that's the issue. Um, but I mean, it seems to be going pretty nuts. I saw as well the biggest thing happening in the last couple of days was actually this whole Beeple sale. Um,
Yeah.
Before a few weeks ago, I had no idea who Beeple was, and then
Thank you. Okay, now I feel less stupid because as of yesterday, I didn't know who Beeple is.
yeah, literally, I think probably 3 weeks ago, I saw it was on a up only TV with Crypto Cobain and Legislators, and I was watching that and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And then I started like looking at what he was doing and stuff. I was like, fuck, this guy's been doing art for a really long time,
Mm.
and kind of getting stuck into the NFT stuff. And then all of a sudden, like his work's selling for like hundreds of thousands, and then this Christie's one, which did 69 million, is nuts.
It's wow. And yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a spoiler for the Shake.com newsletter, but there is a video made by Justin Sun that you can find on Twitter where he explains why he did not win the Beeple artwork. What's it called? Every Day?
Every day is yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, because the user interface was clunky, I guess, and everything. Then Justin Sun was actually trying to bid 70 million. And he has a video of him doing it, and it straight up doesn't work.
Man, that is so nuts. 'Cause literally yesterday, when I was on Twitter following it. You've seen all the comments. People are like, "Oh, who bought this? Probably Justin's son." And you think it kind of flippantly, but
Yeah,
he
of
was
course.
genuinely trying to buy that. Man, I wonder what he'd have done with it if he got it.
Well,
What?
I mean, when it comes to marketing, he is a genius.
Yeah,
Because what you do is you buy the thing, and then you make an appearance with the artist, and then you can turn that into promoting NFTs on Tron, which pumps the price of TRX, and he would have that 70 million back in a week
for
because
sure.
Justin Sun is so good at pumping. He's so good.
Yeah.
I really admire him. There are people who hate on him, but I think he's great. If that's what you're gonna do, you're gonna be a shitcoiner and just shameless about it. I'm for it, man. Just do it properly.
Well, speaking of kind of supposed shitcoins, so lately this whole Binance chain stuff, BSC has been going nuts. There's been
Mm.
a lot of, so whereas before it was, people who were staunch Bitcoiners saying like Ethereum's trash, like this is ridiculous, like what are we doing with DeFi? Now it's Ethereum people that are telling BSC people, man, this BSC thing is trash. What are you doing with this? I mean, I totally get it. Have you looked into it at all, the BSC stuff?
I haven't looked into. I think it's Binance Smart Chain,
Yeah.
and the reason is I was just assuming that Binance Smart Chain is, it's a centralized chain that is run by the company Binance, which is great. So that would be similar to like Blockstream Liquid, or it would be similar to um, Avalanche, or EOS, or IOTA. There's so many of these. I'm not saying Avalanche and IOTA are the same, but just I'm talking about blockchains that are less decentralized than Ethereum, and it's at the point where the only real way to find out if something is decentralized is that you go to CZ, the CEO of Binance, and you say, I've kidnapped your whole family, and they're going to be sent to a work camp in North Korea for the rest of their lives, unless you remove this smart contract or freeze these assets on Binance Smart Chain.
Mm.
And it is only at that time you will know whether or not it is decentralized, because it must come to that point. But the tricky part here is that these kind of threats, they will come to the people who actually have power to influence the chain, but they will come also with a message that says, oh, by the way, if you tell anybody we're telling you to do this, it will be much worse. So we're never going to find out, but you will just see things like assets being frozen, things being censored, certain applications not allowed to be on the thing. So that's how we'll find out. And yeah, that's the battle between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, which is very funny because Bitcoiners have always said that Vitalik can just turn Ethereum off and on when he wants to.
Mm.
And he sort of did once after the DAO got hacked. You can argue if that's still possible and everything, but yeah. So now the same thing is happening between Ethereum and Binance Chain, where Ethereum are saying, oh yeah, well, you guys aren't decentralized, we are. So
It's funny how these things go full circle, isn't it?
it is full circle. That is the perfect phrase.
I mean, there already has been as well. I don't know the ins and outs of how it played out, but we mentioned this in last week's newsletter about this whole. Someone launched this project called Slave Finance, which was a bit of a rough project when you look at it, like visually and everything. It's a bit touch and go. Anyway, that seemed to just disappear. I mean, there were kind of talks that it was kind of a Ethereum, someone in the Ethereum community trying to like basically tear down Binance Smart Chain, but who knows? But anyway, that's disappeared, and no one knows if that's the project or
disappeared from the website or the blockchain itself. Probably the website.
I'm not sure. I'm just the website. I don't know if the blockchain's disappeared,
because that's the real thing.
Yeah.
Because Binance, I mean, if it is decentralized, then when you're seeing facts about the chain on Binance's website, that is only one website, then it should be possible to make other interfaces. And the way to know is if there is a secondary interface, would Slave Market or whatever it's called show up there or not, or did they actually manage to get it hard forked out?
Oh, man, yeah, I think all these things it's gonna be interesting to watch.
It's going to escalate.
Yeah. People are only going to get wackier ideas that are trying to push buttons more and more.
And we already know what the buttons are. They're always death threats, child pornography. I guess those are the big ones. And of course, anything that is just extremely unpalatable, like the slave thing.
Yeah. yeah, I don't know, the child pornography thing. I remember with was it BSV when someone started uploading? They were like saying that there was tons of child porn on BSV or something. There was a
There is also on Bitcoin, I believe, some.
really, yeah,
And that was solved in a quite elegant way. So Bitcoin, when you store the Bitcoin blockchain on your computer, it doesn't actually store all the data in just one sequence on your hard drive. It's just like kind of mismatched, mixed around. So there is not an extractable JPEG image of the child porn on your computer, even if you have the full blockchain, because it's stored very out of sequence. So the only way to extract this image from the computer is to use a specialized tool, like another piece of software, to read the file specifically for this. And then I can think that you can make the case that you're just trying really hard
yeah,
to be watching something you shouldn't be watching. So yeah, that
yeah,
was kind of it's a quite elegant solution.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting. These things are only gonna, man. I'm very intrigued to see how this all plays out, especially now that we seem to be full flow bull run.
The chain wars.
Yeah, yeah, it has begun. Um, I guess that's kind of it. But to round this one off, guys, remember that you might have seen we're hiring. So we're looking for a marketing assistant to join us, help us scale up all this content. So if you think that's, I'll put the job ad in the description below, and we'll keep sharing it next week. Yeah, come check it out and see if it's the right thing for you. We'd love to hear your applications. But cool. Thanks, Andreas. Really appreciate it. Yeah, good to kind of get back into the swing of things.
It's great catching up.
And as I said, next week, be sure to check out the next interview we drop with Zane Tackett from FTX. So that should be a good one.
That's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Cool, guys. Thanks so much. See you later, Andreas. Bye.
Shift with SideShift.ai. Good job.